Hello and welcome back, and welcome back to part 3 of fertiliser spreading. So we're the tractor 390T, so we just need to go and get the fertiliser spread on. So you'll have seen that in part 1 and part 2 to fertiliser spreading. Part 1 was doing the pastures, and part 2 was doing the first half of the silage ground, 130 acre, the silage ground that we mow first, and then what we're left got to go and do is that we mow last. So that was a week ago. Started. So I did explain in that video that we do it in 3 little pastures first. The sheep have been on all that, and then the 130 acres that we've already done, that has some of that's had sheep on, but some of that's the ground we rent away from the farm, and we're going to mow that first. And then this is what we're going to do now when we mow last. Because of the way we do it with the bales, we can't physically do the whole lot at one go. We do field by field. So that 130 acre that we put fertiliser on last weekend, that will all get mowed first before we do this that I'm going to do this weekend. So it's a bit of a week apart. But so I've had the fertiliser spreader off this tractor, because I needed to go and fetch some bales and the calf pens out for the day. So we're just going to go and put the fertiliser spreader back on. It's been a week of very wet and windy weather. The milk cows are still in. We've not. It's the 20th of April today. We don't normally get to 20th of April and the milk cows are still in. So, just because how wet it's been, it's just unseasonably wet. Anyway, we'll get this first spreader on, and we'll get the last of the fertiliser on. First cut. So you see we've got 2 bags in. We've got 12 bags left, and we've got, so we'll turn the spreader down a little bit. So this is how you adjust the Vicon. Just turn it down just a little bit, because we don't want to put as much on, because we won't be mowing this till a bit later on, and it'd be a waste to put lots of fertiliser on, if that makes sense. We're better putting less on, just because it's a longer period of time to grow. So just how we do it, because sometimes if you put too much on and you don't get it off quick enough, it'll start to rot the grass if you can't get it off, if that makes sense. And we don't want that, we don't want rotten silage. What I mean is by rotting, I mean, the best way to describe it is, you can always tell when you've had a good crop off a field but when you look at the field after you've got the grass off it, if that makes sense. So once you've mown the field and baled it or chopped your grass, tucking it away, you can always tell you've had a good crop by how white the field is underneath. So if you've had like a late cut of grass, it'll be quite green underneath, or quite a short cut of grass. And what that means is, if it's quite green, it's going to grow back quicker, but you've had a small crop off it. Whereas if it's white underneath, you've had a heavy crop off it, and the reason it goes white is because no daylight has been able to get to the grass at the bottom, because it's been smothered with such a heavy crop of grass. But if you leave it too long and it goes really white, it will rot. And we don't want that, because that won't make very good silage at all. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go and put this fertiliser on. It's like a half rate on the fields that we mowed last. So here we are in the field. We are going round and round this field. So this ground we're on is right at the side of the park. There's just over 70 acres of this plot. And this particular field could have really done us a bit more thorough than it now. And the field next door that I've just done. But, I mean, we've got plenty of flooring, but the grass is growing a bit, so whether I'm going to have to do that in the next few days, I don't know. But it's just the fact that we've had not enough dry weather. So we've got so much to catch up on. To the extent where now it's a bit too late. Hey ho. But anyway, we won't be mowing these fields here till probably the second week of June, at least. So it'll give it plenty of time to grow. This stuff well. Probably putting it on less than what I did on the other field. Not quite half rate, but like 3/4. Nearly empty. So 2 bags have done nearly 2 fields. It's about right. Look at that view. It's what you live for, that. Well, that and making your cows happy. By giving them plenty of food. But yeah, it's a nice day for a change. So that is because this last couple of days I've been putting slurry on this field. From this field and the one next door. So that's why we've got the GPS all set up. Because I've run in this field with a tractor slurry tanker. So you obviously can't see my wheel markings very well. So yeah, I need that to tell me where to go, so I don't miss any bits or overlap any. We don't want to do, because we don't want to, one, waste money by overlapping it, and two, miss bits, because if you miss a bit, you'll come to Moat Field and you'll see there's a bit that's, well, grass doesn't grow very well. So that's why we're doing that. But we are going to have this field sprayed because there's a lot of weed in here. So fertiliser, normally when you put spray on a field, it'll knock the grass a bit. So it doesn't kill the grass, it's there to kill the weeds, but it'll knock the grass back a bit, if that makes sense. So muck and fert will just help this field keep ahead. The last thing we want is to spray a field and then it doesn't grow grass very well. But yeah, you can see why I'm putting slurry. not getting as much fertiliser because it has a bit longer to grow. But there is a significant dominance of dandelions in this field. We won't spray it this year. But we're using the GPS just because I've still got it on the tractor from yesterday when we were smelling out fields that had slurry. Well, that just had slurry. These fields have all had slurry. We do normally slurry them twice, but because the weather has been so wet, I don't need to explain it enough how wet it's been. We've not been able to get out of slurry when we should have been doing, and the problem is we've not managed to get any on this field. Well, we've only put like 2 rounds on this field, we've only done 1 round, which will affect the crop yield, no doubt. But if we do carry on having a wet spring like we have been doing, we shouldn't really be too worried about that because it will grow round. Except if we have a dry spring now, there's no manner of doubt, we're both probably going to have a dry spring and then which will develop into a dry summer now, which will be a complete nightmare. Because it's now the 21st of April today, and the milk cows are still in. But for now, we're just going to move this last bit of dirt. So, if you have liked the video, if you've enjoyed watching me, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe below. Sorry we had a bit of a period of, we had a couple of weeks where there weren't many videos. Well, there only like 3 weeks. That was just because everything's been so busy with everything else. So, well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See you.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us.